All right, so I know I missed the past 2 weeks of uploading, and I'm not even sure what week we're on with this whole prop firm challenge journey, whatever the hell it is. But I just wanted to come on here and update you guys on where the prop firm or where I'm at on the prop firm. And just the past 2 weeks, I didn't take a trade last week. Actually, I guess you could say 3 weeks. I didn't take a trade last week. Just didn't see any setups. We had a setup cooking in the VIP membership. And we was just waiting for our entry, but unfortunately we didn't get it. But I will show you guys that. And if we jump straight into FundingPips, this is a new dashboard because if you didn't know, FundingPips did a migration and now we are at the trade on Match Trader, so or MT5, but MT5 isn't allowed unless you have a VPN and all that. So anyways, this is Match Trader. This is the new dashboard. As you see, we are in what I would call scary hours right now for the prop firm. One more trade. If that trade don't work out, I'm probably gonna fail this account. If I fail it, it is what it is, right? Just got to take it on the chin, pause, and either get a new prop firm or just focus on this live account, which is probably what I'm gonna do, or just get to fucking studying because these markets still been moving crazy. But you might not be able to see the pairs because my face cam might be blocking it. But I took two, well, technically two losses, but let's just consider one loss because one is like a small amount. One loss on GBP JPY, which I had mentioned, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, that I was just waiting for this next week to buy that engulfing candle. It ended up happening, which we'll go over. But after that, ended up taking GBP USD, which as you see here was for a loss. Then we ended up taking AUD NZD, which was a loss as well, for a total loss of $7,131. Yes, I know that shit sounds bad, and it is, to be honest, but again, it is what it is, man. But let's go to the charts. This is the GBP trade that I was talking about. If you guys remember from weeks ago, how I said price was coming back to this area of interest, and we had entered earlier, right? I think we entered the week before this huge engulfing candle, but this is what I was looking to catch. So week opened up, I was looking to see if price would end up giving us a pullback, a deeper pullback than this. Never happened, and then price ended up shooting up. Would have smashed our take profit if we didn't get stopped out and if we would have re-entered. So this one, like I said, I mean, I was telling the members it's just unfortunate. We was just a week early. I'm pretty sure we entered, I think we entered here if I'm not mistaken. So we just put our stops below, and it ended up getting stopped out, or maybe here. Yeah, we entered here, put our stops below, and then we ended up getting stopped out. And it was not 126 pips, but unfortunate. And then next week, as you see, price pushed down a little and then shot all the way up. So this is crazy, but it is what it is. That was the first loss that we ended up taking, or I ended up taking. Next pair or next week that I traded was GBP USD. And this one looked very, very good for a counter trend trade. Very confident in this, right? This was actually wasn't even a counter trend trade because this daily was bearish and this 4 hour was bearish at the time as well. So we see here, actually, let me back up. We see here, price was moving sideways, right? Actually, not on the daily. Let me go to the 4 hour. Price was moving sideways, which always indicates to me that we might be looking to head to the opposite or head the opposite way. So once I saw that, I was very confident in that. Ended up seeing, I guess you can consider this a head and shoulders pattern if you want. Price ended up confirming it by breaking under and then giving us that retest. So on the hour, I was just waiting for price to give me that shift of structure and engulfing. And on the hour, we see a head and shoulders pattern as well, right? So we had all these confluences to go short. We ended up entering right here. I literally stayed up. I remember this one. Stayed up till 2 o'clock in the morning. Had work the next day. Said, fuck it. Saw this engulfing candle. Hopped in it. Put our stops above. Looking to target this area right here. Now, this area, this bottom area of interest was just this daily area of interest and weekly area of interest that looks super clean, right? Multiple touches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 touches, just waiting for price to go ahead and dump. Not only that, on the weekly, we see that we've had 1 week, 2 week, at this point it was 2 weeks of a doji, telling me prices tried to push up, didn't want to. What am I expecting? Price to go ahead and engulf and make that move to the downside. So those were the reasons for me getting into GBP USD. Again, looks perfect in my opinion. Like, I've seen this play out so many times. So I was very confident about this one. And as you see, price ended up going down in our favor for a little, and then ended up pushing up, stopping us out, and then doing whatever the hell this is. Like, this is just crazy. So took a loss on GJ. Next week, took a loss on GBP USD. And then not this last week, but the week before that, ended up taking a loss on AUD NZD. And I know I didn't post a top setups video last week. That was because all the pairs were the same that I was looking at, except for AUD NZD, I believe, or maybe AUD USD. One of the AUD pairs, they were a little different and it was lining up, so I had just sent that out to the members and let them know what we was looking at. But AUD NZD, we see a very strong weekly area of interest. 1 touch, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Very strong. Cannot deny. Very, very strong. The weekly was bearish. This was the lower high. This was the lower low to me, right? Jump down to the daily. We see that this daily was bearish. Lower high, lower low, right? Should be super clean. So what are we waiting on? Price to get back into this area of interest, give us our shift of structure engulfing, and then we enter and take it to the downside. Now, once I saw price enter the area of interest with this wick, I didn't take the trade, of course, just waiting to see. And then once I saw this doji, that had me thinking, like, all right, now, what do we usually look for whenever we see a doji? We look for the next day to engulf, right? And this was a like 50-50 trade because there was another, I think it was a CAD pair that I was looking at, and I was like, they both look very good, but this one just has a stronger area of interest. So let me go ahead and pull the trigger on this one. Now, of course, you could say I broke my rules because I didn't wait for price to enter the area of interest, and it was stupid, right? Because now I'm looking dumb. Price entered the area of interest, it ended up dropping. But it is what it is, right? You learn from your lessons, and you just try and get the next one with these markets. But ended up entering here. If we jump down to the 1 hour, we see that this is the wick that we just looked at. Every time price got up here, it ended up dropping, right? Triple top, shift of structure, pull back, and we do have an engulfing candle here. However, I didn't take it there. I ended up taking it with this engulfing candle that you see right here. Ended up taking it on this engulfing candle, right? I knew price still could push up, so I ended up putting my stop loss above the area of interest. I think it was at 35, if I'm not mistaken. 35 something, right? Where was our targets? Just these lows down here. If price wanted to push lower, would have been great. EMA at this time was lower, so my stop loss was actually pretty higher than this. But as we see, let me zoom in. As we see, price pushed up and ended up taking us out just to close in our area of interest. This past week, this is the trade that we was looking to re-enter. Price ended up closing in our area of interest after stopping us out. And then GG's after that, right? Now, this past week, I noticed this and I was looking to see if price would break under on the 1 hour, give us a retest, and then continue down. Because if I saw that, give us an engulfing candle, would have hopped in that easily. Because that's just, I'm very confident on the 1 hour. I think the 1 hour is probably the best time frame to enter on, at least for swing trading, in my personal opinion. The 15 and the 30 is good, but at the same time, it's hit or miss. And especially with these new markets, it's very hit or miss. So I just had more confidence in the 1 hour. And as I said, I was just waiting for the 1 hour to give me that pullback and engulfing candle. Unfortunately, as we see, didn't give us the pullback and engulfing on the 1 hour. But if we jump down to the 30-minute, then we see that price, in fact, did give us that. Of course, as I'm so confident in the 1 hour, the 30 and the 15 give us that. So we see a shift of structure, pullback, engulfing candle. In hindsight, it's easy to tell, but of course, when you're actually in it, it's different. 18 pips would have put up 5, and we would have caught a crazy trade. As if I would have held it this long, because the way that the market's been moving, I'm not even confident in holding it to a 1 to 3. Shit, 1 to 2.5 to be honest. But as we see with tariffs and all the news and everything that's going on, this would have been a crazy trade. So this was actually the one that we was looking to enter this week if price gave us that entry on the 1 hour, but unfortunately it didn't. So scary hours for the prop firm, man. One more trade. If the trade loses, I'm not probably, because I'm gonna be risking 2% like I normally do. So I'm gonna fail it. It is what it is. It sucks for sure, but I mean, it's fucking trading. So just gotta do what you gotta do. I know a lot of people may be having issues with trading. If you're not, then shit, congrats. But if you are, understand it. We just gotta continue to learn, continue to back test, try to figure something out with these new markets. You don't have to change it if you don't want to. I always recommend being versatile, which is why I am currently trying to learn, indices and stuff like that, and learn how to trade that with another strategy. But I might make a video on that later on. So you guys could do the same if you want, or shit, just try to stick it out, to be honest. So that's gonna be a video. Let me know if you guys have been having, profitable weeks, if you guys been winning trades, losing trades, if the markets have been good to you, if you're fucking low on confidence, if your psychology is messing up, all that good stuff, man. But y'all be safe. Y'all have a blessed night, blessed weekend. Stay tuned for the best setups video dropping tomorrow, possibly. I did some analysis looking at the other chart, looking at some pairs for this upcoming week. And again, it's not a lot. So I don't even know if I'm gonna make a whole video on it. But just let me know how your trading has been so far. I know March was tough. April hopefully is better, but just let me know down in the comments. Y'all be safe. Y'all have a blessed night, blessed day, whenever you're watching this, and I'll catch you on the next video.